Okay, well, I want to share with you why I think the internet economy is just changing the way that we're going to make money. And this is not just temporary, this is forever. I mean, for the last 3 or 4 years now, I've been interviewing people all over the world, who've used the internet economy and other kind of unique ways of making money. This is part of crowdfunding and peer-to-peer and the shared economy. And I think this is really the growth in our country. It's not like the rest of the country is going to be over. It may just dwindle, and shrink, and this is going to grow. And the opportunities in life, I think, are in items that are growing, not in shrinking. And what's neat about the internet economy, it not only allows for careers you can make out of it, but it allows for ways to make extra money. And that's what people need now. And it's the easiest way to make extra money. It's the fastest way to make extra money. It's a way to earn income while you're transitioning to something else. It's a way to earn income while you're still starting your business, or a way to earn income while you want to be an artist and you're working on your art. So it's you're a mom and want to stay home and don't want a traditional job, or you hate your job and you want to do something else, but you got to build it, or you're a student and want to earn extra money. This is the easiest way, and it's an opportunity that is non-traditional and growing like hell. Now here's what I got some data here to just show you that, because see, what's happening is the new wealth in our society is from organizations like this. Now look at, I don't know if you've heard of Airbnb and Uber. Okay. Airbnb now, 26% of the people, that travel in the U.S. now are booking rooms in people's houses through Airbnb. Yeah. Uber, which is getting rid of taxi cabs around the world. I mean, they're in like 450 cities already. I mean, you hear things in the newspaper about people fighting them and, they're breaking the law and all. Yeah, but look at this. They're going to survive because, see, people are making money. Look at this. Airbnb. Okay, Airbnb, the data show that they're worth about $30 billion, okay? 30 billion. I don't know what a billion is, but they've only been around 6-7 years or whatever it is. And they only have like 2,500 employees, but that's $30 billion, 2,500 employees. But there's 1 million people making money off of them. 1 million people. I'm one of them. Uber is another thing. They're worth like $50 billion. But they only have 6,000 to 7,000 employees. But there's 1 million people making money off of them too. That's extra income that people are getting from these things. Okay, how big is 30 billion and 50 billion? Well, look at Hyatt Hotels. It has almost 100,000 employees, and they're worth only 7 billion. So you have Airbnb worth $30 billion, okay? They've been around half a dozen years, if that. And Hyatt Hotel has been around for 50 years or something like that. And they're only worth $7 billion. Or Marriott's worth $17 billion. Or look at Uber is about the same value of FedEx. So Uber is worth $50 billion and FedEx is worth $45 billion. Well, look at the employees they have. FedEx has 300,000 employees, right? Uber has only 6,000. But instead of 300,000 employees, they have 1 million people making money on them. So that's right. Wow. Here's the places that are growing like hell, that are creating income opportunities through extra ways to make money. And that's what's important. And that's where the money in our society is going. The rich people are investing in this because this is the growth in our economy. It's sort of like the turn of the century is the growth of automobiles, right? Everybody's starting automobile companies, and that was the growth. So that was creating big jobs. But now it's these kinds of things, these what they call platforms, that are creating places for you to make money. That's what's creating jobs in our country. And that's where the fat cap money is going. Look at this. Facebook acquired WhatsApp for $19 billion. What app? Okay, 55 employees, That's all they had, 55 employees, and they're investing $19 billion. So that company's worth $19 billion. That's more than, Marriott, or that's more than Hyatt, that has hundreds of thousands of employees. This is 55. That's it. That's what I mean. So Microsoft acquired LinkedIn, which only has 10,000 employees, for $29 billion. Wow. Or Snapchat has a value of $20 billion and only has 300 employees. And when you look at it, companies with $20 billion has hundreds of thousands of employees. Okay, that's what. Okay, now the growth in these jobs is the other thing to see. And this data just became. I've been following job data for a long time, and this is what they call non-employer jobs. Okay, now they're not self-employed. These are non-employer. Self-employed is somebody starting a business, or they have a couple businesses, or whatever. That was self-employed. That's the data I used to watch all the time. And that sort of stayed same even during the repression, the recession we had, or whatever we call it. That data accumulated by the Department of Labor, BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. But the census has these other kind of internet jobs, which are called non-employer jobs. These are people, who drive for Uber, who make money out of Airbnb and stuff like that. They're individuals making extra money on something, and those jobs, they call them, non-employer jobs. And another one, what they're calling them is gig economy jobs. So you're gig, like when I grew up in the 50s, gigs, musicians got gigs. Hey, I'm going to go do a gig. A jazz musician, he gets paid to go and do his work in a gig. Well, now we're all doing gigs like that, and that's the way to work. Okay, look at the gig economy jobs that grew in the last 12 years or so. That grew 26%. 26%, and the overall economy only grew 9%. So this is almost triple. So this category zone tripled job growth than all the other categories. Okay, and look at what they forecast for the future, that overall jobs will grow only about 66% in the next 10 years. 6%. Look at gig economy jobs are growing 26%. So that's growing in the future, that's, if it keeps going, it's probably going to grow exponentially, which is even faster. So if the overall job market is only growing 6% in the next 10 years, this is going to be growing, 25, 30%, maybe even more than that. So that's why IT jobs are only forecast, to grow at 12%. So you have IT jobs just double what the average job growth rate is going to be. But this is growing even faster. So that's why, it's something to look at. And that's why, to me, looking at data gives you a feeling of what may really be happening. Individual anecdotal data it's interesting and sure could give you an example, but it doesn't show you what really is going on. That's why overall data. Okay, now another thing about the internet economy is what's great. It's eliminating the old boys network, and that's not only because of men, that are ruling most stuff, but it's also people without power, So like women are 100% more successful than men at raising money through crowdfunding. See? So if you want to start a business, in the old economy, you went to venture capitalists, and they're still around. They still supply a lot of money to start a business. But venture capitalists are 95% men. Okay, so venture capitalists are 95% men. How much of their money do you think they give to men? 95%, right? So they're getting. But on crowdfunding, they're getting twice as much money than men. So they're more successful at crowdfunding than men are. Because, see, in the crowdfunding, this is the new economy. Everybody's invested, not just the fat cats. Uncle Harry or some mom out in Dayton is investing in companies and ideas. And that's what eliminates these fat cats who think they're smart and tell you the truth, they're not, because only about 10% of their deals are successful. Yeah. So they're wrong 90% of the time. Yeah, the data's somewhere like 80-90% of the time. So what the hell do they know? They don't. All they know is rich. They're not smart. Okay, the shared economy also makes it possible for anyone to be a capitalist. See, this is what I think is interesting about the shared economy. Man, we're all capitalists now. See, capitalist in my mind is someone who generates, money from their assets. Okay. Now, say what you can do is take your assets and generate income. Like I am. I don't consider myself a capitalist, but I got an extra apartment, that we used to make a ton of dough off Airbnb through the extra apartment. So if you have an extra room, an extra parking space, a car that you're not even using all the time, clothes you don't want to use anymore, storage space in your attic that nobody's using, or have extra people for dinner, or just take people to a baseball game, or power tools that are sitting in your basement and nobody's using, or a bicycle you only use a couple of minutes or whatever it is a month. Well, all these are your assets, and it's just like if you had money in the bank and you made them work in other businesses. You have assets now that could work because of these platforms that are on the internet, that you could make this extra stuff, these assets that you have work for you. So we all could act like fat cats, big fat cat industrialists. Yeah, and that's what's neat about this too. Okay, another neat thing about it is that these internet jobs or gigs or whatever we call them, to me, are the most stress-free jobs you will ever have. I mean, I don't know about you, but I live in a big metropolitan area here in Washington, D.C. and I live in neighborhoods where, we got hundreds of fat cat lawyers making $1 million a year as a lawyer downtown Washington, D.C. or whatever. Most people hate their jobs. Even the people who are making, 30, 40, 50 grand a year hate their jobs or something. They just have to do it, So the stress, of the traditional relationships in our workforce, where people are over other people and they're fighting to make numbers for some investors or some bank or some bosses in New York or in China or whatever the hell they are. So all that stress goes down to the employees, and they feel that stress, and they get called at 4:00 in the morning to come in, all that kind of stuff. Let's see, and the gig economy gives power to the worker, in my mind, And then there's bad parts to everything too, but the good part is you get rid of that stress. I mean, listen, see, for gig economy jobs, you don't need credentials or degrees. All they want to know is you do the goddamn work. Big corporations, because they have to invest in you, they don't know if you're good or really good or bad, so they go by your credentials, and all the fancy schmancy degrees you have and everything. You maybe you're a lousy person, can't do but anything, but that's the way they hire. They have somebody else train these expensive colleges, and you find money those expensive colleges because that's what these employers want, and they have no idea if you can do the work. Okay. Also, they don't require any fancy resumes. You fill out a one-page form or whatever, that's it. There's no boss. See, this is it. You don't have a boss in these things because it's all run on the app, and you have you work when you want. You have no schedule. You work when you want to work. You work only for the salary you want, and you don't get if you say you don't want to do that, you don't get penalized for something. Everybody to work for it. Oh, I better do whatever he says because then he'll think I'm a nicer person and give me more. No, you don't have to worry about any of that because it's all on an app. They send out we need this job done. You want to do it or not? No, I'll take the next one then. Okay. Website also gets the employer's credit card ahead, so you don't have to worry about getting paid. See, so many of these part-time jobs in the past, we used to get, you worry about you going to get paid or not, or you go on Craigslist and you get hired by somebody who isn't going to get paid. I don't know, but you don't have to worry about that. Also, the websites are now providing insurance for your protection. So like Airbnb, that I do, well, they have insurance. They can't cover it. If somebody trashes my apartment or whatever, I'm covered. No problem. But actually, tell you the truth, people are leaving the apartment cleaner than I give it to them, right? People are nicer in this economy or whatever. Okay, so they provide for it. And see, you also have power over the employer because everybody rates everybody else, and it's all public information. So you could say, hey, I did a job for this guy's an idiot. And you put that up, and everybody knows that. So everybody's on their best behavior. So it's really nice place. Okay, good and bad, they are. So you rate them after every job, and they rate you. And this is, it's just a wonderful way to get instant feedback, and everybody knows everybody else how bad they are. And so anybody that's really bad gets popped out of the system real good. Okay, past employees tell you how good or bad an employer is before you accept a job. See, that's right. So now you accept a job, you don't have to worry about looking up their business records. No, you find out from other people who work there, and it's all right there on the website. So it's easy. Most important, the websites get you customers. And they do all the paperwork and the billing, and they only take a small percentage. See, they're doing everything. You do nothing but the work, decide you want to do it, and that's it. And you're protected by insurance. I mean, that's pretty cool. Now, this is another indication that this is growing, is that politicians are getting into this. So what they're trying to do now in Washington and other places is make sure, because this part of the population is growing so quickly that they want to make sure there's rights for labor people, and so the employees, the people doing the actual work, are protected, and working out on pension plans and retirements and labor laws, and all that is enforced too that way. So that's why they're making new laws to do that. That's a government job. You got a problem, we got a law. So they're doing that. So I mean, to me, that's more of an indication of the growth in this thing. And the person who's ahead of this, I could see, is Senator Warner of Virginia. He's a pretty hip guy. I mean, he started a cell phone business, make gazillions or whatever, and now is doing that. And the Department of Labor is doing that, or whatever. The other, to me, what's neat about this is that crowdfunding, peer-to-peer, and the shared economy websites, they're all free. I mean, the old way of getting jobs used to go, whether you use Google or whether you go on, Craigslist or somewhere looking for a job, there's all these people, promising you riches and a new high-paying job or whatever. So all these people are gone. You don't have to worry about them anymore, because they'll charge you hundreds or thousands of dollars over the promise that you're going to have the job of a lifetime, as long as you give them a lot of money. And that's silly. That's stupid. Okay. And there's no more gatekeepers, that are there. You pay me first, and you'll get a great job. So that's gone. And there's no high-priced training schools needed for any of this stuff either. Who promise you high-paying jobs as long as you give them thousands of dollars, and you wind up doing that and you get nothing. So that's what's neat about this. It's all free. Okay, in other ways. So, all this stuff is great, I think. It boils down to the websites get you the customers. That's what this platform is. I mean, they bring in the customers for you. And so that's why if you start a business or you start an independent freelance business, you have to go out and find customers. That's the hardest part of anything. But they do that. So that's all gone. The website also provides expertise, legal help, and insurance. That was also a pain in the butt to go out and do something yourself. You needed to worry about the laws. You needed to worry about insurance. You needed to worry about all this kind of other stuff. And that's all gone. The biggest problem, too, that most people had in working like this is you worry about getting paid. Are these people going to run around after, not pay you after you do the work? Don't have to worry about that either. So that's what's great about this stuff. That's why I think it's going to grow, and it's going to be here a long time. Okay, so now I have a list of about 70 organizations and platforms that do this, from every aspect of society. Whether you want to drive your bicycle and deliver stuff and make, they usually make $15 to $25 an hour on those kinds of things, or even create opportunities by helping other people manage their extra rooms for them. There's a big opportunity in just doing that. that. You could take care of dogs on the side. That costs you nothing. People making $30,000, $40,000 a year just doing that in their apartment, anywhere. So there's really dozens and dozens of ways to do that. Clean out your closet, old clothes, make a couple $100. You have a bicycle you're not using. People making, $50 to $100 a month because they don't use your bicycle. Things like that. Empty room in your attic, could be worth, $300 a month. So these assets you have are now sellable, and you are a capitalist. We're all capitalists now. Well, we could all live like Trump, can't we?